Hey, Scribbles.
Well, hello, Magnet. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just chilling. Getting ready to go to sleep.
Getting ready to go to sleep. Okay, and what were you asking me about a second ago?
That lady you hung out with before a little while ago, a few months ago.
The cat prostitute?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to hear the story real quick before you go to bed?
Sure.
I was going to read you a bedtime story from Violent J's Behind the Paint book. I'll read you a chapter from that, but it's too exciting and thrilling, seriously. And it's hard to sleep when you hear this because it's so fucking good. If you want to sleep, if you want to hear something, that'll put you to sleep, read any couple of pages out of the Narcotics Anonymous book, the Blue Book, or the Alcoholics Anonymous book, and you'll fall right to sleep because that's some boring ass shit. But anyway, I got a story for you real quick, and I call it my cat prostitute story. Once again, real quick, is the shot from here to here.
Yeah.
You got the hatchet in here?
Yeah,
Here
perfectly.
to here. In the goofy ninja elf clown hat. Alright, my cat prostitute story, real quick. I was on my way to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. They call this meeting the Ain't Dead Yet, and they call it that for a reason, because they're all almost dead. Everyone's almost dead there. And they're very boring. And I was on my way to the meeting, and instead of going to the meeting, well, when I left the hotel room, this is a while ago. This is actually before I was on probation. Well, I don't know. But anyway, around the same time. But anyway, so I leave the motel, and I saw this pretty good-looking, from a distance, this good-looking woman leaving a couple doors down. And she wasn't getting in her car to go drive to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. She was going to walk up and down on Federal selling her ass, right? Because she's a prostitute. I can't think of her name. But, so I'm like, you know, I was feeling a little, we'll just say frisky. Can you say horny on YouTube? Alright, I was feeling a little horny, and I thought, instead of going to the Narcotics Anonymous meeting and sit there and listen to those cocksuckers, those really boring, evil people, critical. God, they're critical. They're so judgmental, too, of me. They're not very friendly. Instead of going there and listening to them and hanging out with those losers, maybe I'll talk to this chick. So, and see if she wants to have a little fun. And I asked her, well, I started driving away, and I said, hey, I gave her the look, you know, hey. And she gave me the prostitute look back, which is like, hey, you know. And then I said, I'm smart now. I said, hey, you want to ride? I didn't say, you know, because of cops, I didn't say, you know, you want to, how much you selling your vagina for, you know, because you don't say that. Or because if they're a cop, they'll get you for that. So you say something like, hey, do you want to ride? And she was saying the same thing, like, sure, I want to ride. So then she gets in the car, and then I'm like, yeah, so what are you doing? And she says, just wanting to have a little fun. What are you doing? I said, oh, I want to have a little fun too. Anyway, we bullshit around for a few minutes, and then you know, how much? You know, how much money? You know, what's this gonna cost? And I don't know what it was, like $25, $30 or something. This is Federal now. This isn't no Charlie Sheen prostitute. So anyway, we drove to another motel because Magnet was here, and we live in the motel. That's just where we're at, man. That's where we're at in life. And I had nowhere to have a little fun with her in private. So I took her to. I live in a motel room, and I had to pay for another motel. A different motel, if that sounds nutty, because I can't take her to the motel that I'm living in, or the people, because I know the people at the desk pretty well, and they'll go, God, you know, what are you doing, buying whores? You know, what are you doing, buying whores? So I took her to a sleazier motel, not on purpose, but because of the price. And we did our little thing, and it was cool, and she had a nice body, but she had a strange face. And it kind of looked like Michael Jackson a little bit after all the surgeries. Just a little, didn't it? Didn't it look a little funny? Her eyes were a little funny. I wasn't sure if she was Asian. She kind of had cat eyes. It was a weird little shape. And I wasn't sure if she was Asian or 40 or something. Are you holding the camera? Come on, man. Don't fall asleep during this shit. This is a long story, and I'm doing good. And you're closing your eyes again. And I just want to fucking just...
Are you kidding me?
Okay, just... we're still putting this on no matter how bad it is that's going on the internet. So anyway, we had our fun, and I think I missed the meeting that night. So I came back. What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're trying to fuck me up back there behind the screen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, because you know I get easily distracted. So anyway, a couple days later, she turns out she was staying at one of her Johns, or Tricks, or Johns, or whatever you call them, was paying for another room, a couple rooms down, and she came in here, and she wanted to hang out for a minute. And I said, all right, you know. So I don't think I bought sex from her that many more times. But anyway, a couple days later, she came back and she was hanging out. Now I wasn't going to do it that time, but I was like, I really don't want to spend the money, you know. And I worked really hard, but I think I gave in that one too. But the time after that, she came in and she knocked on the door and she wanted to do it again. And I didn't want to give her any money, and she was just hanging out, and we had a really cool talk. She's actually an awesome person, and really cool. And I always thought she was like 40 years old. If I want to talk 20 hours, let me talk 20 hours. Don't rush me. Jesus, God damn it, dude.
You're only going to have about 4 more minutes.
You just don't know how to. You just know how to ruin a fucking. Keep it going, because I'm not gonna tell the story again. This is the last time I'll ever come out of my mouth. So, let me finish my story. God, I just turned from... I'm in the best mood when I just fucking... You just have a way of bringing out the worst of me. So anyway,
I didn't even do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
where was I at? Talking about... Oh, she came back like the 4th or 5th time, and we hung out. We made fun of our phones. Like, she's talking about her cheap-ass cricket phone. And I got a cheap-ass cricket phone. And she's really cool. And she opened up a little bit to me, and she's laying on the bed, and we're sitting there watching TV, and I didn't want to do nothing. And so I'm just like laying there all tired and shit, and we're making each other laugh and shit. And we were. I mean, even you were laughing with her because she's funny. But she started going into how she had. This came out of the blue, and how she had animal DNA, cat DNA. And she says, you know, genetics, one chromosome, she started explaining it technically, is a little different, one thing off from animals. And she said, I was born with gills, and she showed me these scars on her cheeks where she had gills. And then she said something about her eyes, like she has eyes like cat eyes. And she turned sideways, and I always noticed her eyes were a little weird. And she had an inner eyelid that went sideways like a fucking cat or something. So she turned sideways. Later, I was actually thinking about having sex with her again, the fifth time. So anyway, and she looked up at me, and the eyelid went like sideways and shit. And it turned me off a little bit. You know, I think I decided not to have sex with her, but. She's a great person and very interesting. Now this is another paranormal story. It's turning into the cat prostitute story to paranormal story. Real quick here. So she ended up missing, and her mother came over. Hey, I heard you're friends with blah blah. And then her cousin came over and says, and you know she did turn up later. Just want to let you know she was on a crack bench. You know, I didn't, you know, God forbid, something like that would happen. They would blame me, of course. But she did turn up later, and she's just fine. She was just smoking crack somewhere. But everyone told me that came over, you don't know her. You don't know her. She's got a demon. She's like a demon, or they're implying that she's like, you don't want to piss her off, like I pissed her off or something. And they're implying like she was like paranormal, had some paranormal abilities, or possessed. There's a bad side here. But anyway, that's my cat prostitute story, and that's all I got. I'm Scribbles the Juggalo, and I hope you can sleep now.